We slept in until a glorious 8:30 again. It's a little after 9. All the good it did me to turn on the kitties' heating pads before bed last night, because at some time over the night we had a power failure again, and long enough at least to go off and on, and that means that their beds are off. These beds stay on, except for they don't come back on when the power comes back on. But who knows how long it was out. Yeah, well, it's not super cold out here this morning either. It's in the 30s. It's not like it's in the teens, but still. That power outage took the kitty cat heating pads back offline, whatever time that was. What is this time did the stove have on it?
It just said PF.
Okay, it didn't have a time, so we knew how long it had been since it came back on or whatever. Oh well.
I'm sorry.
I'm sure they had heat and were warmed back up for a while.
Sure.
Go check out the driveway conditions for us.
Why? This is a great driveway test vehicle, because if it's any ice at all, I'll find it.
Don already looked at the cement pad and said it's good. Well, thankfully the ground is not crunchy this morning and Morris didn't run for the hills. I heard the driveway alert, so I know Don's on his way back. It really only takes him a couple of minutes. I don't know if we'll be able to do anything to try to save my butterfly bush or not.
There were a couple big limbs down.
Yeah, in the cul-de-sac?
No,
on the driveway.
Threw them into the woods.
Okay.
We would have had to get out.
Big enough that car couldn't go over it. Yeah. I smelled just a hint of pine sap this morning. Not like after some storms where it's you notice it the minute you walk out the door, but with the wind going, I definitely got a whiff of some pine sap, which means there's some broken limbs.
Sure.
Well, all things considered, we don't have many branches down. I mean, I've seen storms where we have, you know, pine needle clumps and branches all over the yard, and that's not the case today. I do see that branch on the other side of the bridge. Next time one of us walks down that way, we'll get it and throw it off into the woods. These guys are fine, and lucky for them, the doghouse up here has an old school heating pad. So it's just on low. So it came back on with the power. But the other two, the nice newer ones, I've restarted them as well. So they'll get to warm back up here in a bit. And hopefully I'll see Gypsy today. With the camera down yesterday and the front door closed due to the cold and no heat and trying to keep the heat in and stuff, I really wasn't able to watch for him very good yesterday. But cats usually stay put when the weather's bad and then they come out afterwards. So I'm not sure that he would have tried to come at his normal time given the storm. Somebody's got their annual eye doctor's appointment this morning. Just, I don't know, I need to take more control of his calendar, like appointments.
Well, I thought when I made it 6 months ago or whatever it was that I wouldn't be working anymore.
Right.
And I thought, and I didn't know that today was a holiday when I made it 6 months ago. And I thought, well, 10:30 in the morning, you know, let's be
not too bad.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, it messed up our walk is what she's fussing about.
Well, I'm not fussing too bad, but
well,
I may. Go. Yeah, we're gonna go. So we found out the details about what caused our power outage. Yeah. It rated a report from WRAL because some guy was on FaceTime with family and caught the fire that burnt the line in half and caused the outage. And they didn't apparently start working on it till 7:30 last night. It took them all 30 minutes to fix it. Yeah. But I understand they weren't out in the middle of the afternoon when the wind and the ice and everything was worse. It was okay to be out working then. So, yeah. I believe that. I'm going to tell myself that.
Yeah,
We'll show you. It's down by the church on the corner, just past the park. And when I go out with Dawn for our walk, we'll show you.
Yeah, we'll catch it on video.
We may not be able to see anything, but we'll show you.
Yeah, we'll probably see this how they spliced it. I'm sure they didn't run a new wire.
Right.
Because that would have took more than 30 minutes.
Yeah. So as it turns out, I have all the fancy window panels, and I have this bar here, but these two bars, well, at least the center fancy printed brick, it's actually a decal are missing, but you know, and this is not readily seen either, but I should be able to put it back together as best I can. So while Dawn's gone, I'm gonna rumble some Legos around and see what I can do. I'm not done, but I'm almost ready to stand it up. I'm working on this here, is these steps, and it's time for us to go for our walk. It's just a couple minutes after 1. I don't want it to get to be too late. Johnny's being picked up for a birthday party at 4. Seems totally safe for him to go. The roads are good, and I want to be back before that. And you know, I can futz with this some while I'm cooking later, but it is coming along. I do have both sides and the center doorway, and I'm just working on the platform out front. And other than missing the decal here and here, I'm good. It's not super cold, but it is super windy. We're going to the environmental park. We're going to check out where that power outage happened. So your eyes are still dilated, huh?
Yeah, I noticed as soon as I got outside and got behind the wheel and got out from the shade trees, and it's like, oh, I'm having to squint, and it ain't even very sunny out here.
Yeah, the doctor said his eyes are fine. I guess no change in your prescription, whatever that is.
No.
John just wears cheap reading glasses. Your ability to lose them is only increased by the amount of money you spend on them.
That is correct.
Or break them, at least especially for Dawn.
Yeah.
You know, the ones I'm wearing are not expensive either, and I just realized that the little black cat has definitely been chewing on the tips of the stems on the side. I reached up there and I'm like, that's rough, and she's done that to other pairs, and I have been careful with these. But I guess they're just really tasty. So we're walking this way because where the issue happened with the power, Dawn says we'll be able to see the tree limbs and some stuff where we're entering the neighborhood up here.
They leave us the box. Where's the Chick-fil-A? I don't want the box.
So when they interviewed the gentleman that lives in that house right there on WRAL last night, he was basically standing in front of that shed and that power pole, and you can see these pine limbs down on the ground. That one big limb must have been what took out the line. The only thing we can't quite make out is where it was spliced back together. But anyway, that's where the scene of the crime was, right there. That pole, that limb, those branches. That's it right there. I don't know if it was the piece more in front of the church or the piece more between the pole and the house. But that big limb right there has got to have been what come down on the line, because that's a substantial limb. I'm still looking for...
See that burnt spot right there in the middle of the front yard? Right here, that black spot?
Now, they might have been burning though, but it's possible. It's possible. Anyway. Definitely. Oh, and that one pine tree is way leaning. God, they need to come back and take that down. That's just going to hit them lines again. It's dead and it's leaning. God, don't leave that like that. That cost us 8 hours of our life yesterday. You do see a splice? Okay.
It's really hard to see.
That's all right. We won't be able to. Oh, yeah, up top there, right at the top. Yeah.
At the top, about 10 feet past this side of the pole.
Yeah.
There's a thing
Yep, I do see it too, but they won't be able to see it on camera. Anyway, well, I told Johnny the noise came from the yard with the semi-tractor trailers, and it was very close to there. I'm waiting for a Model 3 to show up in this neighborhood. Woohoo! I don't think there's any hope for clear audio today. The wind is like 30 miles an hour. It's just miserable out here, but you can kind of see a little bit what they've been doing down here.
Definitely dressed it up.
Yeah, it's got sections now, and yeah, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say they just weren't done with it before versus a repair, but who knows. Here's another view, and we're actually blocked by the wind here. Can we just stay here, Donnie?
Sure.
It's very tempting. It's very tempting to tell him down at the bottom of the hill over here, we're just going to head back to the environmental park.
We could just hang a left here.
Hang a left and just go home. Well, I was telling him I got a lot of exercise this morning working on Legos. I already had 3,500 steps from walking around the house, back and forth to the garage, lifting bins. I wasn't
to do is bum's the word.
Yeah, but I'm too much of a ride between the lines kind of a girl. Can't do that. Personal integrity and all.
Yeah, I'm just lazy.
Well, this gentleman up in front of us here in the distance, he's pulling some things down into the woods from his yard. Probably something came down. Yeah, well, inquiring minds want to see what South Park looks like, so I guess we'll go in the right direction. I figured you'd appreciate the wind if you could see the flags. It's crazy. We're not running today. Wow, Donnie, we didn't walk on this part of the trail to get to South Park, and it's about what I expected. There's a bunch of stuff down. A lot of pine branches. There's a big one around the corner up here. Good thing that didn't fall on anything important. Well, this one here is about the size of the pine tree limb that came down on the center of my house during Hurricane Fran, and let me tell you, that's enough. That make enough noise to wake you up, scare you, make you worry you had a puncture in the attic.
Started at 123. We averaged 2809 per mile.
You're kidding.
Well, that's because my thing doesn't very. It cheats me steps. 6,098 steps. Give me 2.32 miles.
Yeah,
449 calories. 80 heart rate minimum. 109 average. 130 max. And
yes.
719 per mile. I ran up to catch her. One time she got ahead of me because I was picking up trash at 2.13 miles per hour average.
Yeah, well, it keeps on saying you didn't walk as far as you did. I don't know about the steps part, but the GPS, how far you walked, is off.
Yeah, I see dots up here, and I saw a regenerative message may be reduced or something.
Yeah, it is really about 44, but yeah, I looked it up, and it's 15 to 20 steady and 40 mile per hour gusts out there right now, and I believe every bit of that. And we got a rattle in the back door, but there's something back there. It's not a car thing. We got something in that door pocket that we got to take care of. We just forgot when we got out of the park. Yeah, so I saw a really quick glance that Tesla was releasing a software update for the heat pump failures in cold weather climates that's been in the news the past week or two. And I don't know, again, I mean, that's best case scenario for Tesla is it's a software patch and not a hardware issue. That's best case with like the octo valve, right? I didn't read the details though. I just saw that was rolling out. I know NHTSA was fixing to get involved, and the media was doing everything they could to make it sound like Tesla had, left its customers out in the cold, and, all of that normal stuff, as if Tesla were the only car manufacturer to ever have any issue with their car ever. So, but that's good news. They think it's a software update. That means they can roll it out to people sooner than later, and less people will experience the problem, and it's just nothing but good. So that's come down since Dawn went out this morning. If you look near the tree with the face on it down at the ground, that's a big limb Dawn had moved out of the way this morning. And here's a little bit down by the bridge. We're lucky. I don't see anywhere near as much down as I had worried about.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got a bunch of there. I'll have to walk it up farther.
Why don't you just go get warm, sweetie?
Right, I didn't mean today, but yeah, try to throw it farther.
Yes, ma'am.
I've got bacon in the oven, and while I stand out here and wait to do what I need to do with it, I'm gonna try to finish this up. All right, it's finished. Like I said, I'm missing a sticker here and here. There's a couple of color changes. There's 2 minifigures that are missing, but I found a second fighter guy, similar, you know, obviously Taekwondo, karate, martial arts kind of uniform. So I'm very pleased. It's put back together, it's done, it's good, we're golden. Alright, there's a plate of crunchy bacon ready for the week. So Johnny's out at his friend's birthday party getting hibachi, but Dawn and I have eggs, bacon, and a little piece of steak on the side. So we're not going hungry over here.